Folks, I wanted to talk to you about some things that have been really bothering me and kind of alarming, and nobody's really talking about it in the news, and I can't be the only one who just noticed that. So somebody on Twitter yesterday retweeted this post from Stephen Miller from October of 2023. Now, if you don't know who Stephen Miller is one of Trump's goons from his last administration where he was the head of immigration, and he is slated to be in that position again should Trump get reelected. Now, he said that they started a denaturalization project under his first term, and it'll be turbocharged should Trump get elected. Now, denaturalization is essentially stripping somebody's naturalization papers away from them. When you're naturalized, you went through the whole process, filled out all the paperwork, waited about 7 years, did everything right, took the citizenship test, and boom, you raise your right hand and you take the oath and you're a citizen. This is from Immigration Hub, and it gives a really good description on the Supreme Court precedent that involves denaturalization. And it even states that you can only denaturalize somebody if they committed a crime that is related to obtaining their naturalization. So if somebody is naturalized, they get their citizenship, their social security card, they're an American citizen at this point. If they commit a crime, then that's it. They can't be deported for that unless that crime involved forging some paperwork to get their naturalization card. You can't just strip somebody's naturalization from them. It's unconstitutional. But as we've seen in Project 2025, if you have no idea what Project 2025 is, you need to Google it because it's very alarming. And also Google Agenda 47. Trump says he has nothing to do with Project 2025, but Agenda 47 is the bullet points to Project 2025. So the Supreme Court precedent for this, in this case, wasn't that long ago, it was in 2017, says you can't do that. So going back to the idea of denaturalization that Trump was trying to do it in his first term, I did a little digging, and I found this article from the BBC from February of 2020. The article continues to say that in 2020, the Department of Justice formed a section of the department that will investigate and argue cases for denaturalization. Now, the Assistant Attorney General, Jody Hunt, at the time said that they were only going after anybody who was criminal and committed really severe crimes, and they're mentioned above. In the article, it says that they were going to target war criminals, terrorists, sex offenders, and those kinds of crimes. However, Ellen Orr, who is an immigration attorney, says that the way the wording was structured, there was a lot of room for interpretation, and there's nothing to stop them from making up a crime and saying you're guilty of it. And you say that's a little far-fetched, but look at the rhetoric Trump has used and what he plans to do for his second administration. Look at Agenda 47, look at Project 2025, look at what he has said in the past, not necessarily during the campaign, but there's lots of videos out there of him talking at an annual conference at the Heritage Foundation saying they're working on the groundwork to his second administration. Mr. Orr also says that he believes that the denaturalization process is really meant to go after Muslim majority countries, that people from those Muslim majority countries and people of color. So it's vaguely worded with the intent that there's interpretation that can be made. Now, one point I wanted to make was that a lot of people assume that he's talking about birthright citizenship. And once again, birthright citizenship is you're automatically a citizen if you were born here, regardless of your parentage. So if two of your parents came here illegally and you're born here, you're a citizen. That's end of story. You're a citizen. And that's one of the reasons why Trump has such disdain for birthright citizenship. And I put this fact check, which is actually a really great article for just learning about the immigration status and breakdown and how many people were coming across the border from 2016 prior. Obviously, it's almost a decade later, but check out this article if you're interested in learning more about that. Anyway, so he's been talking about deporting lots and lots of people since 2016, and I think as far as 2015. Now, I mentioned that something was really alarming me, and I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it. I'm getting to it. So in this May of 2024 article from CNN, they interviewed him wondering, can you explain your mass deportation of 15 to 20 million people? And he plans on using the military. Now, it's not just kind of scary that he wants to use the military to deport civilians, but right here, that is really the most disturbing part of this too, is because he doesn't think of them as civilians. He thinks of them as animals. He said so. And he's going to treat them as their combatants because he feels that they're invading the country. So what also bothered me was that he says he's going to deport 15 to 20 million people, but depending on which agency you look at, and it's kind of hard to get an exact number, there's about 11 million illegal, undocumented persons in the United States at this time. And Pew Research has this really handy chart for how many of each person that has immigrated here, regardless of how they came here, divided into groups on how many are undocumented, how many are naturalized citizens, how many are permanent residents that are here lawfully. And 11 million people, they say, is undocumented. And then naturalized citizens, what we were just talking about, is 23.4 million. So if he's planning on deporting 15 to 20 million people, sure, you could argue that he's just giving a out there number to, be bombastic. But really, he planned in his last term to denaturalize citizens of the United States. They're not supposed to lose their citizenship for any reason. Even if they commit a heinous crime, they're now owed due process under the law, according to our Constitution, because they are an American citizen. So 11 million, and then he hopes to get a few million from the naturalized citizen population, probably those from Muslim countries, as the CNN article said. And no matter really how you look at this, it's really alarming. Yeah, sure, undocumented people are here illegally. I'm not saying that we should, I'm not saying that either, because I think being the wealthiest nation in the world, we should be able to help a lot of these people with, they're fleeing horrible situations. And if we're the greatest, most wealthy country in the world, we shouldn't be claiming that we're a third world country. So, but anyway, I realize they're undocumented and, it's against the law. So if you have to deport them, but they do not deserve to be treated like they're enemy combatants or they're dogs or they're going to taint the blood of America. Like, that is some really heinous talk that we've heard before. We've heard this talk before. So let me know what you think. If you had similar ideas, did you know about this? Maybe I just, I take in a lot of information every day, so maybe it's just I missed it. Have a great day, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.